All right, guys, we're going to review some news, but before we do that, we're going to review the final dates for all the Bitcoin ETFs, not the Ethereum ETFs, because there's a lot of confusion in my chat about, oh, they're just going to keep delaying and one's not going to get approved in January. Now, before I start this, remember, all these ETFs are filed under the exact same premise with like pretty much the exact same details. So the SEC either has to reject all of them or approve all of them. There is no like basically I reject this one and I approve that one because then they would get sued and they would lose. So essentially, let's actually look at the final dates. And there is one that's coming up very, very soon, like we've been seeing over and over, even though some people still refuse to believe that we're getting one in January. So as you can see, the final SEC deadline date is what we're interested in because the next one, obviously, they can just delay. The grayscale one is unknown. We don't really know when this one is, but the ARK Invest one is January 10th, 2024, which means the SEC cannot delay past this day. They have to make a decision on whether to deny or accept. Some people are saying no BlackRock on the list. BlackRock is iShares, so it is actually on the list. And you can see the custodian. A lot of them are Coinbase. One of them is Gemini, and another one is Fidelity. The Fidelity one is actually 3/15, which is March 15th. And the weird thing is, like, one of these is Fidelity as well, because Fidelity did file for an ETF, and they're also acting as a custodian for one of them. Now, this one I think is Bitwise. So these are all like refilings. Most, if not all of these, are essentially refilings because they've had to refile over and over again to satisfy the SEC and the SEC's demands for in-kind or cash redemption. I think at this time, it is all cash redemption. They say dates are estimates and deadlines, so they may come earlier. I don't think they're going to come earlier. Yeah, there might be an off chance that they accept one the last few days before Christmas, and that would be a nice Christmas gift, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. And obviously you can see why Coinbase is going to benefit a lot from this because they're going to be the custodian for nearly all these ETFs, except for two of them. And I don't think the SEC has actually brought up that the Coinbase custodian thing isn't actually an issue, which means they're probably not going to bring it up. So you can actually see that like one is in January, which is probably the first one they're going to be approved. A ton of them are in March. There's a couple in April, and the last one is actually in August. But this one is going to be like the watershed moment. If they reject this one, they can probably reject the rest of them too. And there's a lot of them that are actually March 14th, March 15th, but there is one on January 10th, and we'll see what the SEC does about that. And remember, the SEC can delay for 240 days since the filing date. So that's why this one is first. Now, the Grayscale obviously filed a lot earlier, but they've been in a lawsuit forever against the SEC, so this one is unknown. My guess is that they accept ARK, they're going to accept Grayscale as well, but Grayscale is going to take a little bit while because their conversion to actually like offer the shares. So because everyone's basically been revisiting with the SEC and refiling with the SEC, January 10th is the date that we're actually looking at because the SEC cannot delay it past that date. And if they're going to accept BlackRock and Fidelity and all those, there's very little reason they would actually deny ARK Invest. So that's why everyone is looking in January. That's why all the analysts say that January is the month that we're going to get an ETF because it doesn't make sense for the SEC to deny past then. Let's talk about a Santa rally. A lot of people have been asking, are we going to get a Santa rally to 50,000? I definitely hope so, but I wouldn't really be betting on it. There could be a surprise like ETF acceptance before the end of the year, but that does seem kind of unlikely. Christmas is on Monday, so they basically have today and tomorrow, and Gary Gensler has not made any signs of doing so. I do think we'll slowly start to creep up, but I do not think we'll actually hit 50,000 before then. There's also a lot of people saying a Fibonacci retracement at 48,000. I don't really care about that, but I think we're a little too far away. And remember, volume is going to be low the next couple of days as people are on vacation and as the markets kind of like sink down for the rest of the year, there could be like a bombshell report either way. You know, we have the Houthis in the Red Sea, and maybe we'll have some good holiday reports that consumer spending is just as strong as ever. But I think for the most part, people already know those things. So I don't think they'll have a giant reaction to those things. So a Santa rally or a Santa drop is unlikely. So I don't think the stockings will be full or completely empty by the end of this year. And I expect us to end the year about 250% up from where we were from the beginning of the year, which is not sideways retracement or sideways movement. We did solidly go up this year, and altcoins are solidly up from their low this year as well. And no, we're not going to get some kind of giant magical dump before the new year because there is no reason to do so. The economy is fairly strong. People are spending just as much as ever. And no one is like grasping for air at this point, or very few people are. So I think the money just keeps flowing. And I do actually think unless a bunch of kids demand Bitcoin for Christmas from their parents and their parents pour a lot of money into the crypto market, I don't really see a Santa rally, although I hope I'm wrong and we do actually get one. Tax loss harvesting, I don't think is going to be a thing because there's no loss to harvest this year. Most people actually made money in crypto this year, although probably very little unless you were all in on Bitcoin or one of the coins that actually went up. If you were in altcoins, obviously you're probably pretty close to even, probably slightly up. So there's no loss harvesting because you didn't lose anything. So I don't really think that'll be an issue going into the end of the year. You know, I would just celebrate the New Year's and the holidays and worry about all that stuff later. Cardano has actually teamed up with a Brazilian oil giant, actually the Brazilian oil giant. And, you know, it's more for blockchain education, so it's not actually going to really impact Cardano's price. Cardano has made several of these partnerships, and it's really between the foundation. It's not like the company's actually going to use Cardano, at least not anytime soon, for their company operations. But it opens up Cardano blockchain possibilities in the future. I think it's a lot like those Ripple partnerships. They don't really affect price right away or pretty much anytime soon, but it opens up some possibilities in the future. So they're joining forces with Brazil's state-owned oil company, Petrobras, and they're going to provide blockchain education and explore technology use cases in the energy sector. The foundation will lead blockchain education workshops for Petrobras' 45,000 employees. What this does is that it familiarizes the employees with the Cardano blockchain. So if they go for a technological blockchain implementation in the future, they will consider Cardano more than the other chains. Obviously, this company is huge, has $124 billion in revenue in 2022. And what they'll do is they'll cover a lot of blockchain applications and use cases and quizzes. And to mark the launch of the program, they conducted 2 workshops in the metaverse. So a lot of this will actually be online. So the participants will receive a certificate upon completion of blockchain training. In addition, the first 500 participants at the training will be gifted unique NFTs, which they can probably sell for money, blah, blah, blah. And the Cardano Foundation is dedicated to supporting and promoting the Cardano blockchain system. So what they're doing, this is more of a blockchain promotional system for possible use in the future if the oil company decides to adopt blockchain, not use right away. So no immediate price effect. Not that like people should be upset with Cardano price action because it's basically doubled in the last month. It's okay if it cools down a little before it goes back up. And I think it just surged above 60 cents today. So there's really not that much to actually complain about. I do believe Cardano will do very, very well in the new year. Argentina is actually allowing contracts to actually be settled in Bitcoin. And of course, this is the new president. Could actually be pretty big, like real financial transactions being done, hopefully on Lightning, in Argentina. And it is a decree today by the Argentinian government from the Minister of Foreign Affairs from her Twitter. And of course, it's in Spanish, but roughly translated. There's a decree legalizing the use of certain currencies and contracts, namely Bitcoin, for payments would apply for payments. And they said the decree seemingly aimed at economic reform and deregulation. And by the way, their president did pass an overall big deregulation decree, so this is probably part of it. We ratify and confirm that in Argentina, contracts can be settled in Bitcoin, also any other crypto. So it's not only Bitcoin, but any other crypto. I think this is going to be a bit messy if they allow to if people actually start like settling in various different cryptos. You're going to be dealing with a lot of various currencies. Hopefully they just start with Bitcoin first and they don't like jump the gun a little too much. But it is very, very positive to see like such, forward progress with Bitcoin. The parties have to have the liberty to specify the amounts and the type of currency used for the bonds or security deposit, as well as the method for its reimbursement upon the lease's conclusion. So obviously, like, this is a very liberal move by the Argentinian government, and it is a big move forward for cryptocurrencies. If other countries allow stuff to be settled in Bitcoin, Bitcoin can be more on its way to more of an international currency status, which would obviously be very good for the market. Now, Atomic Wallet, amid a lawsuit, has launched a $1 million bug bounty. So if you're a programmer and you're interested in big bug bounties, this might be your ticket. They're offering up to $100,000. That's a good year's salary, people, to any white hat hacker who can discover a wallet draining vulnerability. Of course, being a white hat hacker, you can't hold the money hostage. You have to find the bug and then report it to them, and they'll give you $100,000. My guess is like some people are interested in hacking Atomic, not just for a $100,000 bounty, but they'll want to hack it, drain the funds, and then hold for a much bigger bounty. Because 5 or 10% of the amount drained usually ends up being a couple $1,000,000. But this is an official $1 million bounty, up to $100,000 per bug, depending on the severity of the bug. So basically, according to the post, the development team is extending an invitation to ethical hackers and security experts worldwide, probably more of the security experts thing, to find software bugs and security flaws in its open source code. They should actually really fix the Cardano NFT issue, or like any NFT issue, to where the wallet doesn't jam if you have some NFTs in the wallet, because I had a lot of problems with that a couple of years ago. So white hat hackers who find the most serious type of vulnerability and report it into the team will receive $100,000. This type of vulnerability is defined as any that would allow the ability to attack, drain a wallet without physical access, install malware, blah, blah, blah. Of course, if they don't find something like this, they'll be paid between $5,000 and $10,000. So this could be a nice holiday project to attack Atomic Wallet and see what vulnerabilities it has. A lot of good rewards there, and maybe someone will get lucky and get rich finding a vulnerability in Atomic Wallet, because I am sure there are plenty of vulnerabilities in Atomic Wallet. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.